instances of paranormal phenomena have been reported in this desolate place. Events that may reflect the area's tragic past.
Through.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Other Dangerous Podcast, where we talk all things paranormal. I'm Ken James, and this is Jason McKittrick.
Wow, I can't live up to that. Hey, what's up?
And if it can haunt, hell, or dwell in the dark, we want to talk about it. And tonight, we're talking about lost cosmonauts.
Ooh.
In space. No one can hear you scream.
It's true.
It's true. Unless they're right next to you, I think.
Nope.
No?
There's
really?
no air.
No? Really?
There's no air
I've
particles
seen a
to
lot of
vibrate.
movies.
Ken, there's no air in space. They can't fucking hear you.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
Motherfucker. Just read your jump scare.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, before we get into Lost Cosmonauts, I will be bringing you tonight's Jump Scare. All right.
Thanks, Ken.
This one comes to us from Judy from South Carolina. My grandmother died of brain cancer about 20 years ago. About 2 weeks after she died, I was hanging out over at my parents' place, and my mom got a call. No number, no unknown number, just a blank caller ID. She answered it, got quiet, hung up, and then went to her room without saying anything. When I finally got to talk to her about it, she said it was her mother saying she was trapped and please come get her because they wouldn't let her leave, over and over again. And then the phone disconnected. I asked her about it a few years ago, and she denied it happened for a bit and then admitted it had happened 2 more times that year and then stopped, but she didn't want to discuss it anymore.
Huh. That's the whole story.
That's the whole story.
Interesting.
A cryptic mother getting phone calls from her mother from beyond.
Wow. I mean, that's a head scratcher. I mean, that's one of those ones where, I mean, you hear about that one. Not. It's not too rare. You hear about the phantom phone calls, right? I mean, that's
My brother Chris. You know the story. You're familiar, right? You familiar with the story?
no.
I'm sure you heard it. He was with his ex.
Yeah.
And they were driving. It was after we saw a movie or something. We were all going to meet up.
Uh huh.
Gets a call coming from my cousin Eddie, or Rocco as he's affectionately known, but from his house,
Okay.
from the landline, like the house line,
Okay.
and it's staticky.
Okay.
And you hear Chris, and he's like, "Oh, Ed, yo, Rock, yo, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then I think he hangs up and it calls back, and it's the same thing. Chris, and he's like, "Yo, Eddie, what's going on?" So he gets really freaked out. So he's like, what the? He looks at his ex-girlfriend. He's like, yo, something's going on. So he keeps calling the house for like 20 minutes. Finally, my cousin Eddie answers, yo, what's up, man? I heard the phone call. I was running and we were out to dinner. And he goes, Ed, someone's in your fucking house. He goes, shut the fuck. What are you talking about? Shut the fuck. Fingers the tip. Yeah. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Someone's in my house. He's like, someone call me. Check your house. Ed,
He checked the gabagool. None was missing, so there's no way someone was in the house.
He takes his shirt off. He runs around the whole place. He checks the house. No one's there. He calls Chris back. Look, no one's here. Chris goes, dude, it's crazy. Someone called. He showed me the call logs. I've seen them. His ex was there with him at the time. She confirmed it. The craziest part about that is that the former owner of the house was his uncle who hung himself in the basement.
Okay, yeah, I remember this story.
Yeah, and that's something that happened. Fucking nuts. Ghost phone calls.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't. The only comment I can really have on that is like, yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, look.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. like the thing is, like I went to school for audio engineering and stuff like that. And
Did they have a section on ghost calls?
yeah, they did. They well, the thing is, it's like, okay, so certain things you can explain away, right? You can explain away different connections. It's called signal path, right? And you run into impedance, and you run into all this stuff. It's all technical jargon, right? So a big thing is sometimes you'll get, like, just in video where you'll get ghosting, right?
Okay.
So you'll get interference, which could be here or there.
Okay.
But the trickiest thing about it is something having to dial his phone.
Yeah, that's
Right, from a landline too. It's not like your
and
cell
to say
phone.
his name.
Yeah, right. But it was like a like that's yeah. So
okay.
those are some of the more beefy of the paranormal.
Yeah, I mean, for it to cross over into you know, calling you on your phone. That's
the big thing, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, especially a landline. It's not, you cannot butt dial. You're not butt dialing.
yeah.
They had the speed dial, but no one was home.
Huh. I wonder what it made him call Chris.
God only knows.
Wow, that's interesting.
Who doesn't exist, by the way? No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna get to that.
Always Sunny reference. Another Cricket, Always Sunny. Just kidding. Cricket, Always Sunny.
It's like that's a long podcast right there. Yeah, man, that's just a head scratcher, and that's one where I could just say, well, wow,
And it happened 3 times to her. Like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Help me, they won't let me leave.
dude, what is that? Is
like-
she in hell?
It's fucking like, oh my god.
I don't know. That's where my fucking brain goes.
Maybe.
Wow, can you imagine that? She's like, I get phone calls from my dead mother or whatever it was. She's in hell, and they won't let her out.
Yeah, they won't let her out. Well, that's on Celebrity Ghost Stories. I think I played what's his name from Forrest Gump, Bubba.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had the same thing. One of his buddies who
Yeah,
died. He had
yeah.
a phone call, but like reaching out from beyond to a phone, like that, doesn't that take some kind of intelligence of knowing a way to like tap into a phone line?
Dude, I don't know what that is. It's I have. That's why I said, like, I don't know what to say about that. That other than no, I have integrity. I'm not drinking any of that fucking Fireball.
I don't have any integrity. So.
We know.
Yeah.
All right.
But goes back to like also that the Twilight Zone episode, Dearly Departed. Do you remember that?
Right.
Where the phone line was in the grave.
Right.
See, that's like that is how you can kind of explain those kind of ghost stories. It's like, oh my god, okay, so you grab the phone line.
It's pretty funny that you mentioned that, because that's literally taken from a Lovecraft story.
Maybe some big news coming soon, guys. Anyway,
Maybe.
So, all right, so yeah, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight. But
Nope.
we might have to do an episode about ghost calls.
Yeah. What was the other one we just said a couple days ago?
It was
Episode on.
fuck, what was it?
I don't know, buddy. You're the archivist.
Yeah, I am. It was. I'll look it up.
I just come here and perform magic.
Yeah, you do.
You
do.
just get.
Yeah, you do great things. I just bumble around like an asshole.
You just die on Everest. I get to the top
Right.
and step over your corpse.
Right. And you're like poser, and I'm just like, oh, help me, and then I'm dead. But then you still talk about me years later.
That's true. Whatevs, bro. Speaking of untimely deaths, today we're going to go into a subject that I had to do, because this is also, our last episode. If you're, listening to our last episode, this is an other danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not haunting, not
Cryptid.
not cryptid. Just
No monsters.
what happens when man attempts, and by man I mean the race of men, which includes men and women, when they attempt
Mankind.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
When man attempts to reach for the stars or reach for something, and hey, they die trying.
Icarus.
Yeah, it is very much an Icarus type story. You fly too close to the sun, your wings melt. Don't use wax.
Yeah,
Use
don't
something
use
more.
wax. Yeah.
Use some spray
That was like
adhesive.
the first problem with that whole thing.
Yeah. Anyway. So today we're going to be discussing lost cosmonauts and astronauts, which is very interesting to me because, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I've said to Jay that like the last episode and this one are two, once again, primal fears of mine. All right, so the fact that the planet Earth is falling through space at such a...
We can't go too deep
I'm
into
just
this,
saying,
'cause
what
this
I'm
will
saying
go
is...
deep.
What I'm saying is... what I'm saying is...
I know what you're saying.
To navigate space...
Yeah.
and come back or not. While that is happening, the concept itself is panic-inducing and...
Well, falling is a relative concept. If space is as huge as space is, we can't go into this.
So basically, last thing I'm going to say about it is me and Jay, I used to come and visit him here. We would have our pre-recorded conversations. We would go to this local bar, Tiffany's. We'd go there, and we would have drinks. We'd eat, and we just talk. We just bullshit like we were doing here. And one time we were having a conversation about space.
Yeah, I do.
And it was literally. It triggered something in me which later turned out to be general anxiety disorder. And it wasn't you that triggered it. It was just my thought process. We were talking about space, and I had to go like, hey, I got to go outside for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to keep it together here, folks. Hopefully Miller High Life and Fireball are going to help.
You're fine.
But this is, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for the fans.
Okay. I guess we shouldn't go deep into space.
No, let's
then.
go. Let's go deep. I'm good. I've got over it.
Okay. I was going to say.
I flew to Vegas. We're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Beautiful. No, I was going to say, because I think in that conversation we were discussing, like, yeah, it's space.
Yeah.
But those are just words we have to describe it.
Right.
What is all that shit out there? Planets? That's just words to describe it.
Heavenly bodies.
No. They're just words to describe it. Without the words, what the fuck is going on? What is this? What are we doing?
It's just darkness and
forever.
Forever. I think that's what you said to too. And I was like, hey man, I'm gonna put down these cheesesteak egg rolls and go outside. I'm gonna have 4 cigarettes and the amount of like 4 minutes.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, buddy.
No, but it wasn't just you. It's how my mind, my mind processes things. You know, some things get too big, and you got to take a step back at times,
dude. This is the thing that bends my mind, because like you sit there and you think about it, it's like, yeah, okay, and then we'll go into this.
Yeah.
But, okay, we live in a solar system.
Yes.
What is that? It's just a name.
Yeah.
All right. We're on a planet in a whole solar system full of planets. Okay, I could say, hey, that's Saturn, but that's just the name for it. What is that thing? It's a planet, but what does that word mean? You know what I'm saying?
Gas giant.
And I know folks, you probably think we're really fucking high right now because of the way we're talking, but I assure you I am not.
No one has smoked. It's strict diet of Miller High Life.
Right. And I'm not even tipsy yet.
Yeah.
So it's just those weird things that you think about.
Yeah, well, but here's the problem too. The common man or the layman, they tend not to examine those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times you'll watch a documentary and they go, these are the words that tell these things so I can associate with it in my mind.
It's just associations.
It's I went to kindergarten and school and high school and these are the things that were told to me and that's what they are.
Yeah.
But then when you peel back you deconstruct
them.
Yeah, you deconstruct them and you go past the veneer of this is this is what we call them.
Yep.
This is school. You end up going, wait a second, there is something that is a complete system of things that move and turn, and the darkness goes on forever.
Yes.
And people don't want to ponder that. They don't like it. And then they go, you're a conspiracy theorist. Well, no, they do too, even with that.
There's no conspiracy in that.
Exactly.
It's literally
but
just...
If you ponder it and call something different, then you go, that's a heavenly body or something different. They go, that's not what we learned.
Well, words are just noises that come out of our face.
Exactly.
So that just because we have a name for the things that float out in space.
Float out, Jay.
Yeah.
There are giant structures that float out in space.
Yeah, so most of them. And some are just gas.
And it looks like a circle.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It's the force of gravity from the sun and it's spinning that causes it that. But even without all that, it's... Dude, you start getting into it. It is terrifying because then you realize how fucking small we really are.
We are the small. We are... Yeah. Well, I've come to grips with it since our prior conversation. Because I already those were thoughts that I would have had.
Yeah.
But when you're having a conversation with a friend and you're like, well, I'm in a comfortable zone, and then your brain goes to a place that you didn't tap in really.
Yeah,
it's a concept.
It's a new territory.
Oh, it's a new territory, and you're like, you got to go chain smoke for a bit. Like you're, Andy Dufresne in the yard.
Andy Dufresne. Climb through. Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So with that, we're on a different topic this time. We did Everest, and now we're talking about lost astronauts / cosmonauts. Now, I always found this interesting because it's like this was when these, obviously I can't do a history lesson here, but the space race happened in the late 1950s through the 1960s. Sputnik, yes, that kicked it off. But the Cold War was happening. It was like a proxy war between the United States and the Soviet Union, and we basically showed each other. It was a war showing each other how much more technically advanced we were than the other.
Look how much cool shit I can do.
Yeah.
Oh, you're cool. Let's check this cool shit out.
Yeah. And not to mention, all of it based off of Nazi rocket technology. Another thing people don't want to talk about, but anyway, it's true.
You're a conspiracy theorist, bro.
I am not. Werner von Braun literally is responsible for our space program. Was a full-fledged Nazi.
Operation Paperclip.
Yes, sir. Anyway, trying to get a little back on track. This is a little spacey. This episode's spacey, Ken.
Oh, bro.
Bro, just floating out here.
I'm shaking my vape pen here. Oh.
So, just to backtrack a little bit, I've always been interested in this idea of like a dead astronaut. Like, were there things that happened? Were there missions that happened that just didn't work out? And maybe there's some astronauts just floating out there, just dead.
Yeah.
And just out there, similar to that guy on Everest, just floating out there. He was this pinnacle. He was going. I'm going to be the pinnacle of human. Maybe in the 1800s, the pinnacle was to climb Everest. Now, yeah, exactly. 1950s/60s, it was, dude, we're going to go into fucking space, which was just unheard of. And these dudes trying to do these things, and women, because the Soviets did not discriminate.
Well, see, I like to think that it went down like that. Like there were some high officials in the Russian and American government that just one looked at the other was like, dude, we're going to fucking space.
He was like, are you fucking crazy?
And he was like, yes.
Well, that's what it was. It was a back and forth. Yeah. So anyway, I always had this idea because I was like, this is really this is interesting to me because you always hear about the Russians and their secrets. Yeah. So I always thought it was interesting, like, were there these, and this is before I ever looked into it, were there missions that just did not go as planned? And were these, were there some floating out there in space? Were there ones that just, died screaming in flames? Lots of those.
Yeah.
And also because of my love of David Bowie and his song Space Oddity.
Take your protein pills and put your...
Yeah. And it's a guy who gets lost in space, which is interesting because it came out 5 days before the Apollo 11 launch. Super fucking cool.
You're a fucking conspiracy theorist,
I am not. Those are just facts. You can literally look them up.
But once again, sometimes facts are perceived as conspiracy theories.
Facts are facts, which mean they cannot be...
No.
Okay. No. All right. So lost cosmonauts, or sometimes referred to as phantom cosmonauts, are subjects of a conspiracy theory.
But that's so cool. Phantom cosmonauts.
I like phantom. I haven't really run into that too much, but...
But the thing is, you can picture, like, maybe they went through some kind of transference out there where, like...
Dude, now we're getting Lovecraftian.
Oh, I'm sorry. Save that for maybe future projects.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Yeah, my daughter's looking in. She begged, can I be on the episode, Dad? I was like, a little too heavy.
Maybe at the end.
Maybe. Yeah. So, are subject of a conspiracy theory alleging that some Soviet cosmonauts went to outer space, but their existence has never been publicly acknowledged by either the Soviet or Russian space authorities. Okay, now this is also interesting because they say lost cosmonauts, and I think there's also like a kind of a discriminatory wording here because... Dude, there were definitely lost astronauts too.
Oh yeah,
cosmonauts clearly. If you don't know, the cosmonauts are the Russian, and then astronaut is the American equivalent. So it kind of goes that like, oh well, Americans didn't lose.
But that's funny. Like our choosing of like like our competing like Astro, and they're like Cosmo. That like that's our knots. Hey, it's funny. It's just funny that they're trying to find a better word to describe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but it's cool though too, because you say cosmonaut, you're like, oh, Davrish, you know.
Yeah, you're thinking you're Armageddon.
Yeah,
the
no,
guy that
it's
saves
exactly Russian space station. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the devil is in there beating.
I
it.
wish Affleck died in that movie.
Harry, I love you.
Enough. Proponents of the lost cosmonauts theory argue that the Soviet Union attempted to launch human spaceflights before Yuri Gagarin's first spaceflight.
Yuri.
He, hero of People's Republic.
Yeah.
And that cosmonauts on board died in those attempts. Most famously, Soviet military pilot Vladimir Ilyushin was alleged to have landed off course and have been held by the Chinese government. This is super interesting. This guy I believe he's still alive, said that he was the first guy to go up, but it fucked up. And then he landed in China, and they held him for a year.
Oh, that's totally China. Oh my God, they're doing that. What? Yeah.
Yeah. It totally happened because, and then even after the Soviet Union fell, with released documents and whatnot, there was still never like documents on it. It's but why would there be?
Yeah, and the thing is, they're not gonna acknowledge this.
Yeah,
they're not gonna acknowledge that.
Yeah. Yep, and the government of the Soviet Union supposedly suppressed this information to prevent bad publicity during the height of the Cold War, because, like I said, it was a major dick measuring contest between the United States. And,
shake your dicks, this pissing contest is over.
Yeah, and the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, super interesting because we hear about the heroes of this, and it's like, if you look into it, it's like, okay, well, here's the guys that all died. They have like the major, but then it's like, well. Yeah, but of course, if this was a highly publicized, thing that was going on, they would totally. You can't say for sure, but there's definitely wiggle room to say, hey, there were definitely a few guys that just didn't make it. Right. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of times you're not gonna try. I'm sorry, you're not gonna. The failed ones, especially during the space race, you're not going to show your stripes.
No.
That didn't happen.
Exactly. The evidence cited to support lost cosmonaut theories is generally regarded as inconclusive, and several cases have been confirmed as hoaxes. In the 1980s, American journalist James Oberg researched space-related disasters in the Soviet Union, but found no evidence of these lost cosmonauts. See, this is the one that bugs me. How much do you think you're really going to get from those documents?
They don't do redacted over there. That's not the thing. There's not things that are crossed out. The documents never crossed. They never crossed the table.
They erased people from photos before Photoshop.
Right.
That's what the Soviet Union did.
Yeah.
So there's even now. Okay, this is fact, and you can look this up. So there are pictures of here's Soviet cosmonauts. Here's all our heroes of the Soviet Union. And when one would die, they'd erase them from the picture.
Yep.
It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because they were hoping for some, our our man did the thing, and then if it didn't work, they were like, Chiputa,
No more voices.
I'm sorry, I can't help it. This is just me, gang. It's just me.
This is the ABCs of Ken.
Yeah.
Since the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s, much previously restricted information has been made available, including information on Valentin Bodorenko, a would-be cosmonaut whose death during training on Earth was covered up by the Soviet government. This is the dude whose remains were...
Yeah, his wife... literally his wife, to basically show what the concerns that they had.
Yeah.
And the Russian government were like... No, we don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, this is what happened to my husband.
Right.
It was an open casket funeral, and it was just a pile of charred.
But could fit in a shoebox.
Yeah,
but
that's
how much was left.
But I put it in the open coffin, and it was like, come salute your cosmonaut.
Yeah.
You ignored.
Yeah.
You ignored all concern.
Yes. So. Even with the availability of published Soviet archival material and memoirs of Russian space pioneers, no evidence has emerged to support the lost cosmonaut theories. So it's like, well, no, of course not. So, and that's what fuels these conspiracy.
Right. Narrative is everything, right?
Sure,
right?
Sure. So the one big one that kind of supports behind all of these is the what are known as the Tory Burt recordings. These were conducted by the Judica Cordelia brothers. They were these two Italian amateur radio operators. Did you hear about these? Did you come across these guys?
Dude, in my mishmash of all this stuff, yeah, I'm sure I probably have, but go, please.
Okay. They made audio recordings which allegedly support the conspiracy theory that Soviet space program covered up astronaut deaths in the 1960s. The pair claimed to have recorded several failed secret Soviet missions. The alleged recordings have been the center of public interest for more than 50 years. Now, they recorded because it was like, when this was happening, when the space race first started, dude, people went nuts. They were like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So these guys basically set up, two Italian brothers, they set up this recording studio like on their own property, got a whole rig together, DIY, doing the whole thing. And, you know, they could track, like, so when Sputnik went up, they could track it because it made this pulsing that you could track, you could hear it, and like many amateur radio enthusiasts would do this thing, and that's where they started. They would record it. They'd be like, "Here it is. Here's Sputnik," and like, you know, people were interested. They thought it was great. So as the space race continues, they start recording all these other things. Oh, we heard this. We heard this. Apparently, they also they recorded. In the, I'm sure you're familiar with Soviets putting a dog into space. This was Laika, who did not survive re-entry, unfortunately.
My heart.
However, these guys, it's believed that they have a recording of the dog's heartbeat because they were able to get it while it was going over.
The dog's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, you brought them here to kill me.
You brought them here to kill me.
Thanks, Anakin.
What asshole?
Both, like Anakin,
I have failed you.
The dog burned up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, pet lovers. I'm not. It's what it is. So anyway,
hurts my heart.
Now they have all these recordings that, you know, all supported, you know, by you know, all the space programs. Yes, that's real. That's real. But they have a few other recordings that are nightmare fuel. So we're going to cut in here. This is a recording of a female Russian cosmonaut, unnamed, and it appears to record her difficulty upon re-entry into our atmosphere. Now, we'll cut that in here. Okay, so yeah, this was recorded by the two brothers, and this apparently, like I said, is basically a Soviet cosmonaut dying. And there's been some, like, you know, speculation that, oh, it doesn't sound correct. Oh, the way that she's speaking doesn't sound correct. It's
so
like
you mean paid off scientists to say that, oh no, this is incorrect.
Yeah,
because these things.
Yeah. All their other stuff is great, but then they decide to fake a dying Russian cosmonaut. And then, okay, so there's that one. All right, so try to sleep after listening to that.
Well, here's the deal. I can sleep wonderfully because I'm in my cushy bed with my wife and dogs, and I'm not re-entering the fucking atmosphere. Like, it makes me manic. Like, I'm so insane.
Because her commanders were like, if she dies, she dies.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I'm like, gotta let me be a man, and I go to sleep, so I'm good, you know?
Really getting in your head on these last two episodes, huh?
You were fucking, you're...
Sorry.
So to clear everything, you know, so when we started this off, you know, just a little sidebar here.
Uh-huh.
So Jay is our, he's got a steel trap brain, right? So I'm kind of the
Most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time. But way more than me. I'm a kind of
Ken likes stew.
yeah. I like stew. I'm a jack of all trades kind of guy, right? So I read a bunch of stuff, and sometimes I don't recall the best stuff. But Jay, he has a steel trap brain. He's a great study. I'm an okay study, and like right now I'm having like serious recall of all these things that have haunted my thought process that might have led up to my general anxiety disorder that I had diagnosed a while ago. But
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm okay, but because you're getting my wheels turning.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fun. No, I'm here to do it, and
Okay.
I'm also here to for our listeners and things like that. But like, it's crazy that like now like we're doing this and putting this out, and like people can actually feel like my mania in a weird way. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. It's kind of it's kind of a cool
Almost
thing.
like you're trapped in a capsule being rocketed to the
right.
vacuum of space without
Right.
any help.
And I'm not, but like I'm dealing with the actual topic, which
Sure.
is it's I don't know. It's interesting. It's weird. And like I'm in this.
It's abstract,
like,
so
yeah,
it's it's not a monster running around the woods. Hey, this is
Right,
fun.
right,
It's
right.
like holy shit,
Right.
I'm in an inescapable situation.
Right. Like I'm in a like I can't fist fight re-entering
No.
the atmosphere. I can't have like a gun and shoot
Right.
re-entering or
Yeah.
getting lost in space.
It's like
so
it's a situation we'd like to put in the category of 100% pure death.
right, right. This is like you're dead.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, it was cool you did this,
Yeah.
but you're dead.
And not only are you dead, it's going to happen like in 20 minutes,
Yeah,
but you might
yeah.
as well just be dead now.
Yeah.
So enjoy this.
Yeah, enjoy the float.
Yeah.
Enjoy the float or the plummet into this fire.
Speaking of enjoying the float, we got another little clip, which is I think is even almost
Yeah.
is probably worse
Yes.
than the female cosmonaut.
Yes.
Now we're going to cut this in here. So what you hear in that recording there is allegedly the heartbeat of a cosmonaut, followed by his gasping breaths that fade because, according to the two brothers, the signal faded, which suggests that he was just floating out into space. Crazy. So, hey, when you're on the cusp of scientific discovery like this, I mean, you like
Yeah.
to think that, I don't know, there's some kind of like fail safes, but there just weren't.
There isn't. There weren't. There is. But even now, if something goes wrong,
Yeah.
right. So here's a big thing I equate to this personally. So I was on an airplane. I was going to like Florida, right?
Uh-huh.
Like when I was I want to say 21, and I've already been on 8 flights at that point or something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm having my anxiety, right? I'm holding onto my seats, and in front of me or across from me, it's 2 kids, it's 2 children that aren't pondering what's going on
Right.
and what we're about to do, right?
Okay.
So it's building on my anxiety.
Okay.
Because they're like, they're like jumping around.
Yeah.
And I'm holding my seat. I'm like, if one thing goes wrong,
Yeah.
because that's how I think. I'm like, if one thing goes wrong, you're not going to be giggling and laughing.
Yeah.
Like your beautiful ignorance to what's going
Ignorance
on.
is bliss.
It is bliss, and your beautiful ignorance to it is. And I'm not here. I'm here to go on some crazy rides in Disney World, right?
Sure.
I'm here to like go to Epcot and go on the fucking Maelstrom. But I have to do this. I have
Sure.
to do this to get there, right? I'm not accomplishing anything.
Right.
I'm here to go on vacation, and these kids, they're not getting my anxiety, which is making things worse. So I'm angry at these kids.
Yeah.
And we should probably at the end of this bring
Yeah.
your daughter up to see her on space flight. Well, seriously, we
Sure.
should. So, but that's the thing. So I talk to the guys at work, right, or anyone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, we bring up these things. They like to do that. They like to bring up the planet is falling, this and that. They like to bring that up to me to invoke my anxieties, right? But in the same breath, I'm at the point where I've built a wall
Yeah.
in my brain where I can just go,
well, ultimately, it doesn't matter because there's nothing you can do about it.
Right. So I got to that point where I'm like, well, my feet are on the ground, so physics work. I got to that point, but it's okay. So they say like the unexamined life isn't worth living.
Sure.
Right. I examined so much, to the point where I drove myself into these crazy panic attacks, which I got over.
Sure.
And then I learned a way to examine it
Right.
in a way of like you just said, there's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
My feet are on the ground. I can walk. Right. These people going to accomplish something.
Yeah.
There are no limits to that.
No.
They're not going to go ride, the great movie ride.
Right.
They're not. They're
No.
going to the unknown.
Yeah. Oh,
to
yeah.
the unknown, and we don't know if we're getting you back.
Yeah.
What kind of carried in a fucking wheelbarrow balls?
Well, it's kind of interesting. They I don't know about the Soviet program, but like they legit, like if you look into like how they choose astronauts and things like that, in the American space program, like it was literally like the first thing was like how cool can you stay under like adverse conditions, and it was like the dudes that could just like for example like Neil Armstrong, first guy to walk on the moon, like they said he could just like nothing bothered him. Like there's a story that like there was a test flight before they took the Apollo 11 mission, where it was like this weird, they were trying to like figure out the moon rover, where they were going to use this weird like hover kind of craft thing, and it crashed and he almost died. And this motherfucker, did he go home from work? No, he went back to his desk and finished out the day. Like that's the kind of people they put up there.
That's Neil Armstrong.
Well, that's
right?
the kind of guys they
Right.
put up there. That's
Right.
I think that's the point.
Yeah.
So,
Was it Buzz Aldrin who punched the guy in the face for like
dude, he's
questioning?
awesome. Yeah.
He was just like,
how do you live with yourself?
Yeah.
He was like, just looks at him.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I like to think of myself like I was a bouncer for years, right? And like I've been in plenty of fights and like kept cool in those situations. You put me in a fucking
A space
a
capsule.
space capsule and put me anywhere.
It's not ideal conditions for pretty much, I would say probably like 99.9% of the community.
I end up like the dude who died next to Green Boots,
Yeah.
hugging my knees.
Oh, yeah. That's why these people are extraordinary.
They are extraordinary.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. And I'm an
Yeah.
idiot for not even thinking of it. They astronauts are extraordinary, or cosmonauts.
Yeah.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Anyone that has the, like I said, wheelbarrow carrying balls.
Don't forget the ladies.
Oh, the lades. They had the balls too.
They had huge balls too.
Yeah,
that's
they're
correct.
carrying their balls in the wheelbarrow. This is metaphorical balls, Jay.
I know,
This is
I know.
Yeah, it's a heart. It's a heart and a level of self. I don't even want to say assurance. It's like a
There's like a disconnect. They just
yeah.
don't experience
Yeah.
certain emotions,
right,
or like,
right,
or
right.
anxieties.
Or they have such a strong will over their own emotions
Yeah.
that they're so able to stuff it
Yeah.
down. It's like there's no respect I have for anyone like I have for cosmonauts and astronauts.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because it's literally like these guys and these ladies who went up there, nobody did this shit before.
You can't fight back. There's no fighting. What's going on?
No, it's just you're putting your hands and you're putting your lives in the hands of the engineers and
Right.
the technicians and
Right.
hoping that the eggheads on the ground got it right because
So yeah, like you look at the story of Apollo 13, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, they fought in the best way to figure out what's going on with help, right?
Yeah.
It's not like Vin Diesel in a car who's like the best car fighter. He puts a safe on the back of his car and fights cars. You can't do that.
I have
right?
to say I have never seen one of those.
I'm proud of you. Because the first one was really cool.
I also want to say I have no respect for Vin Diesel.
Oh, sure. Neither do I. I don't.
Isn't he in a feud with The Rock right now?
Yeah. Well, that was like months ago, but I'm sure there still is. Like, The Rock's like, I'm not going to be in your movie. And he's like, I am Groot. Yeah. That's high five moment right there.
Samesies.
Yeah, samesies. But yeah, no, like
Yeah.
the concept. Look, you're going up there. There is little to nothing that you could do
Yeah.
to fight your way out of the situation, and I mean fight, not just physical. I mean controlling, moving things.
It's all unknowns. It's all
Right,
X
right,
factors. It's
right.
all like what's going to happen. I don't know. And what is it? The strongest, the oldest emotion of mankind is fear, and the greatest fear is fear of the unknown. Right. So that's it, man. And that these guys are just like
Other Dangers podcast.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's it is remarkable. So even when we bring this topic up, and we're just literally just talking about, hey, these guys that got lost, these men and women that got lost, you can't talk about it without mentioning just like we need another word besides bravery. Like
right.
what like yeah.
They do like the tester medal or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's even too small.
Yeah.
That's even too small.
Yeah.
Like
literally telling you. I mean, it's like a combination of like a soldier that goes out to battle. Like, hey, you probably could die. It's one dude going up there by himself.
Look, I have nothing but respect for the armed forces. Right?
Yeah.
This is different.
Oh no, it totally. I'm just saying, like, by comparison.
Yeah, by comparison,
yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, when I'm saying this, when I'm saying like you can't fight your way out of the situation. Like, so like a service member is highly trained and highly capable of fighting their way out of a situation.
Right.
You're going up there with the knowledge that this is what it is.
Yeah.
And that thought,
Yeah.
you could float away.
Yes.
You could burn up on reentry.
Yeah.
You could blow up on your way out.
Yeah.
Hey,
there's
it's not brass, it's platinum balls. It's like
okay, so we talked a little bit about Soviet some of the Soviet individuals. Now there's the Americans who they only fess up to like one, which is the famous Apollo 1 fire. January 1967 killed astronauts Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee. These guys were doing a launch simulation, sitting on their backs in a capsule. They were just getting ready to launch, and they were in their pressurized like capsule, which was pure oxygen, and a spark ignited, dead, like within seconds.
Yeah.
However, that's it. That's all they give us. They're like, no, everybody else was good. I don't know. A lot of people are like, well, maybe not.
Well, so going to that, they finally released the actual, like you've seen the testing of our UFOs in black and white, right? Like R1s in there, and people have died doing those, but that's buried very deep, and even the different what was, do you remember the capsule? It was a capsule that was like a hover kind of craft.
That's the one I was talking about before.
Okay.
Neil Armstrong. Yeah. He was the one that tested that.
Oh, that was Neil Armstrong.
That was him, yeah. And it crashed. And that day, after it crashed, he went right back to his
there was
desk.
another one that a guy died.
Okay.
Another guy died.
Okay. All right.
And doing that, and they called it like a tragedy, this and that, but it's not public. See, this is what America is so good at doing, right? Yeah. As opposed to
a training exercise resulted in
right. Or Barry says so Russia, they just go, nah. They just go,
no.
Chumjula, no. But America, we do this whole thing.
The failure, that is for the Americans.
The American companies or businesses are so good at doing this, they go like, it happened, right? So it happened, and they go, they don't talk about it.
Sure.
And they look around, they go, is anyone talking about this? Is anyone talking about this? And then if someone talks about it, they go, here's a weird thing, right? They go, here's a weird thing.
Yeah.
And then they go, but also, did you see what we did? You see what we did over here?
Yeah.
You see fucking Neil? They're like,
sure.
but
they
look
over here,
they do that, right? They do the look over here. We're so good at that. And then right when that thing that's actually documented, they just stuff it down.
Yeah.
They stuff it down and bury it, and they go, don't talk about that. And then when anyone talks about it, they go,
Yeah.
hey, what are you talking about, you asshole?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Right. And they just yell. They'll yell at you, and they'll take your credentials away.
Especially in...
don't cancel us.
We're talking about Soviet Russia. What are you talking about? Yeah, man. It's these cover-ups were like... And that's kind of like the point here, is that like the cover-ups were like, of course, they're like, this was the time for cover-ups because this was the space race. They were trying to get, who had the superior program.
Who is better? Who's the man?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right? Who's the guy in the gym that's like, you come here? You know?
That's exactly what they were trying to do at the time,
right.
And so that's literally why I think a lot of this stuff sticks, because it's like, Russians had no compunction of letting like, their cosmonauts die and be like, we can't, can't even talk about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, put yourself
Yeah.
in a capsule right? Or in a ship. You're out in space.
I think we found a very large fear of Ken's.
Oh my
today.
God! No, yeah, you have. There's two. There's been two.
Yeah.
The last two are insane. Dude. Right? You're out in space, right?
Yeah.
You can look through a window and see the Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And they go,
your machines have failed. You can't go anywhere. You're like, machines failed.
Your oxygen just fell to 2%. You're not going to make it home.
That's 2%. We're very sorry.
Yeah, it's
we'll
a
tell your
horrific.
family.
It's horrific.
We're going to pay your family. I'm just going to tell them. We're gonna pay
and you're like, you're there, right? And you're in communication, and you're like, hey guys, I can see the Earth through my window. Like, send a harpoon, do something to pull me back. And they're like, too far.
They're like, well,
Your heat shields have failed, so we can't even.
they're
bring
like,
in if we wanted to.
you're going through a bridge. You're going through a bridge. I can't.
You know, like, it gets to a point.
Yeah.
You know it does. It gets to
Yeah.
a point where they're like,
Yeah.
What did you say? Wait, hold on.
and they just hang up the phone, and you're like,
fuck, we lost them.
yeah, and you're like, guys,
I'm still alive.
yeah,
Fuck,
guys,
we lost
yeah,
them.
and they're like, oh man,
Yeah.
dude, I like Gary. Gary was awesome.
I'm still alive. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Are there dudes like that floating out in
You
space?
know there are. And here's the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Here's the fucked up thing. They are probably space debris
Yeah.
that crashes into other planets and other places.
Possibly. Yeah.
And then maybe some human shit happens, like how we get like different, ores and shit with the
Okay.
meteorites.
Yeah.
We're sending, a human lands,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, oh God, and they have the flu now.
Okay. Interesting.
It could happen.
Okay.
It could happen. Maybe
It
you had the flu
could.
went up and they didn't know.
Okay.
Dude, that is, oh my God, like I want to fight NASA. Like, you don't understand.
Hey, they had it. Listen, they
how do
signed
you
up
not,
for that.
How do you, I understand that, how do you not have like a fire retardant rope that is so long that like when shit goes south, you can just hit a button and it pulls them back?
It doesn't work like that.
I don't care if it doesn't work like that.
It
You got a
literally
guy
doesn't.
like, hey, all my engines failed. Things are going pretty bad out here. I'm floating away. I can see Earth in my window.
So on a tether, you want them like on a winch.
tether. Yeah, I do. And then they're like, you just have the guy like,
Hey, Gary. This is our last transmission. So
Ground control to Major Tom.
but ground control's like,
We don't got this.
and then you just back away. So it's,
End transmission.
we gotta wait. We gotta wait for the mic, and the guy's just out there.
Yeah.
And they don't like. I want to say those people.
Yeah.
Those like I don't understand how more like NASA employees or Russian like how any of them haven't like well they don't go to therapy. I'm sure like like you sent a guy out there. I know they signed up for it, and I know like a big thing of humans and mankind, men and women, are like like they knew what they were getting into.
That is a big part of it, though. Like, I think that actually attracts the people that do sign up for these programs, just like the people who want to climb Everest. I think that there's
but
similar psychology.
There's no fucking video or audio recordings of the people from Everest that are.
No. I think it's a similar. I think there's a similar mindset or similar type of person because
there
like
totally is a similar mindset.
It's like huge risk but also huge reward.
Yeah. But once again, the reward.
Clearly,
is,
you're not cosmonaut material.
no.
I don't think I am either.
If they're like Ken, we're gonna send you to space.
Yeah.
You'll get fucking $20 million. You'll be a celebrity, right?
Yeah.
Or they go, or you could stay here and fist fight 10 gladiators. For
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm faring with you're not sending me anywhere. I'm not doing it.
However, you will still be awarded the $20 million. Relax, it's okay.
I'm sorry. No,
we're
this
at
is-
my house.
I
We're
know,
not in space.
I know.
We're not in Cape Canaveral, and we're
I
not
know.
ready to launch.
I'm serious. Like literally, I'm like Jay saying, like I'm literally, like when I think about this stuff, like I'm affected. I do, and
It's a deep-seated fear. I totally get it.
it really is.
I totally get it.
And it's like I want to like grab the people that did it, and I'm like, don't go. I'm like,
They want to go.
I'll do. What do you want?
Hey, it's legacy though too, because I'm sure there's people who are like, yeah, if I die, then they're going to talk about me forever, and we
it.
do. Hey, here we are again, talking about it again.
I know, but the moments Those hopeless moments of drifting off into nothing.
Maybe they don't experience that.
What do you think they experience?
Maybe they're just like, okay, this is what happens. There's some people that just don't experience that kind of stuff. I've met people like that.
I think most people like that, they're bullshitting. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think they're bullshit. Oh, I don't experience. Then you're a serial killer. If you don't experience,
Well,
if you're floating out in space and you're like, this is fine.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're a liar.
They're the only person doing it, though. You understand? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're okay with it.
How?
They just are, man.
How?
I don't know.
They don't think about the, like...
Clearly not from the same perspective that you do.
I know.
It's okay.
No. It's not okay.
You want to talk about another disaster?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry for...
Derailing again?
Dude, I
don't
even care. I'm okay, but
I
like,
don't even care.
I ain't care. Harley? No, this is a lot for me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay,
Bring
buddy.
it on.
The Soyuz 11 disaster. Okay. The first space station to park itself above Earth's atmosphere was the USSR's Salyut 1, which launched unmanned on April 19th, 1971. Just a few days later, a crew of 3 Soviets blasted off aboard Soyuz 10 with the goal of entering the space station and staying in orbit for a full month. Though the Soyuz 10 crew docked safely with the Salyut 1, issues with the entry hatch prevented them from entering the space station. During their premature return trip back to Earth, toxic chemicals leaked into the air supply of Soyuz 10, causing one cosmonaut to pass out. However, all 3 members of the crew ultimately made it home safe with no long-lasting effects.
That's luck.
That's by the seat of your pants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just a few months later, on June 6th, the Soyuz 11 mission took another crack at accessing the space station. Unlike the previous crew, the 3 Soyuz 11 cosmonauts... Oh, boy. Am I going to try these 3 names?
Go for it.
Okay.
Come on. You got it.
Georgy Dobrovolsky, Vladislav Volkov, and Viktor Pastaziev.
Beautiful. You did. That's
good
their
enough,
names.
right?
Those are their names.
Successfully entered Salyut 1. Once aboard, they spent the next 3 weeks not only setting a new record for the longest time spent in space, but also carrying out loads of experiments focusing on how the human body deals with extended periods of weightlessness. Good on them.
Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
That night. On June 29th, the cosmonauts loaded back into the Soyuz 11 spacecraft and began their descent to Earth. And that's when tragedy struck.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's when tragedy...
Yeah. To those on the ground, everything about Soyuz 11 reentry seemed to go off without a hitch. The spacecraft appeared to make through the atmosphere just fine, ultimately landing in Kazakhstan as planned. It wasn't until recovery crews opened the hatch that they discovered all 3 crew members inside were dead.
That's all you got?
Outwardly, there was no damage whatsoever, recalled Russian guy, chair of the State Commission. In Ben Evans' book Foothold in the Heavens, the recovery crew knocked on the side, but there was no response from within. On opening the hatch, they found all 3 men in their couches, motionless with dark blue patches on their faces and trails of blood from their noses and ears. They removed them from the descent module. Russian guy was still warm. The doctors gave artificial respiration based on their reports. The cause of death was suffocation. The fatal accident was determined to be the result of a faulty valve seal on the spacecraft's descent vehicle.
Oh, fuck off.
That burst open during its separation from the service module.
Get out of here.
At an altitude of 104 miles, the deadly combination of a leaking valve and the vacuum of space rapidly sucked all the air out of the crew cabin, depressurizing it. And because the valve was hidden below the cosmonaut seats, it would have been nearly impossible for them to fix the problem in time.
Okay, maybe that... All right, cool. And
as a direct result of the decompression deaths of the Soyuz 11 crew, the USSR quickly made the shift to requiring all cosmonauts to wear pressurized spacesuits during re-entry, a practice that's still in place today. They weren't wearing spacesuits.
they're wearing tracksuits.
Basically, yeah. Do you think they were even sitting, or were they doing like the Slavic crouch?
Probably.
Right? Just like...
Yeah, like... We're coming back.
Come get it, Earth.
Yeah.
Right here, my nuts first.
That's right.
Now, they were... Okay, here's my point on that one. They reported that one. They're like, okay, this is what we want to say happened. That means that there are so many more, and this is pure speculation on my part. You can call me an asshole if you want. But there's probably so many more that we just never heard about. Do we even want to go into the supposed Russian Mars landing
Of course.
of a human?
Of course. Why wouldn't we want to go into that?
Well, there's not much info on it other than it's literally. I literally just gave you the full thing.
Yeah, it's a Russian
allegedly.
cosmonaut.
Well, hey, they landed a probe on Venus.
Oh, yeah?
They don't give up.
They don't.
Well, they did.
And they try to send a bunch of guys to do Krav Maga on them. Yeah.
Wow. Wait, I thought they're not Krav Maga. They're
Oh,
the
yeah,
other one.
that's his...
They're it's right here.
Um...
It's embarrassing.
Savat? Savat?
Is that what it is? All the Spetsnaz guys do it.
Yeah. A guy used to
Is it
train
Sambo?
with... Sambo!
Yeah.
Guy used to train with Vlad.
Yeah.
He would do Sambo, and he was
Yeah.
always just like... One time I was training with him, he was like, pressure. That's what he said to me.
Yeah.
We're doing headlocks. He was
Yeah.
like, pressure. And I was like, all right, man. This guy, he would do like cartwheels while we were training. I'm like, who's training with Vlad tonight? And they're like,
You are,
James.
James.
So I'm in there, and like we're doing, escaping from blocks, and just pressure. And then he's like, no, hit harder. And he's like looking at me like,
Yeah.
no, you do. And we're like, we're trying to learn flow kind of here, man.
Yeah.
And he was just like, fuck this. You know? Respect.
Yeah. Well,
Respect.
those are the kind of guys who got into those capsules. Think about that. They could deal with pressure.
Yeah, but they also, if it goes wrong, you ain't coming back, Vlad.
They know that. I think that's the part you may be missing.
I understand it, but like, dude, like
They
it's
have
space.
Yeah, but they clearly have they consigned themselves to it. They're okay with it.
Sure.
There's the glory, man, and then there's the glory for their family because at least I died trying, but what about the ones we're not hearing about? That's the one that fucks me up.
Yeah, well, the ones dude, there's so many you're not hearing about. There's so much that you're not hearing about. Like
Exactly.
They're locked
Now,
away in a vault
In
somewhere.
your opinion, just from your gut, do you think that there are? Obviously, I would go with there's probably many unreported Soviet deaths, cosmonauts. Do you think there's an equal amount? Do you think there's any? Do you think there's a lot of American counterparts? What do you think? Same, more, less?
Probably
None.
Probably 3 times more.
You think more Americans?
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
Dude, at this point in my life, seeing what I've seen, hearing what I've heard, reading what I've read,
I'm going to say more cosmonauts, and I'll tell you why. Go ahead.
okay, but well, the idea that I said earlier, that whole this is what happened. Is anyone talking about it? Is anyone talking about it?
Yeah.
And here's how it sounds.
Uh-huh.
Is anyone talking about it?
Yeah.
Anyone talking about it? Anyone talking about it? Anyone talking about it? That's how it sounds. That's how we do here.
Not in
In
the
our-
50s and 60s, though.
Oh, in the 50s, it was, a cosmonaut dies. Oh, Americans said, oh, good. Few drops of water short of full grass you are. Oh, that's how it sounded. And it was fast talking and all that shit. They go, Americans died. And behind the scenes with all that fast talking, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, there was crash, 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 crash. And they're like, we got to beat these fuckers to the moon.
So do you think that there definitely is credence to the secret space program that's been whispered about for decades?
Yeah. Yeah. What? So, all right, factually.
Okay.
Factually.
Go for it.
The United States military, right,
Yes.
has technology at least 20 years in advance.
Yes.
That this is fact. You can look it up.
Now.
Well,
Not at the time, though.
no, not at the time.
Yeah.
But at the time, they had shit. So the way that the United States military operates is, or the military complex operates is, they have advanced technology at least 20 years in advance of what's released to the general public.
Okay.
Okay? So that kind of mentality
Okay.
is the same thing of releasing information. And then when things get released that are redacted and all those things are redacted, you can see now in all these old CIA and FBI files and everything that's released, dude, shit was fucking haywire. Like,
Okay.
no. Yeah.
So you think more Americans? You think Soviet less?
As an American, I want to say no, but as just a person who knows what's going on,
You know what's going on.
well, Look, I sleep with my fan on.
Because you like the cold.
Okay, right.
That's your answer then?
Yes, my
Okay.
answer. Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's equal. It's equal.
Okay.
It's equal.
I could see that.
If we're competing, if we're competing with
Yeah.
someone like in a real thing, not the Olympics or any bullshit that no one watches, but if we're really competing with another country,
Yeah.
you know, the United States,
Yeah. Same.
their lives are fucking, you know, like, yeah.
Fair enough.
Oh, you okay? The ski experiments.
An unfortunate training exercise.
Right.
Right.
But then I'm sure there's a bunch. They had to report some, and that's what became.
Oh no, I think that's my point of this whole podcast. They had to report some. I think there's definitely at least a handful in the United States that we never heard about, secret space programs aside, and I think the Russians were probably like times 3 of us.
You think they're
I
okay?
do.
Well,
Yes,
okay.
I do.
Yeah, yeah. All right. You know what? I'm still in the mentality of now.
Yeah, it's not
yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's not now.
You got to go back
now,
to this is like 10 years.
Yeah.
15 years after
right,
World War II.
Right. So
where,
we're out Russianing
Yeah.
the Russians right now.
maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But Ken's got the inside.
I got
scoop.
the inside track. You know, hit me up.
Yeah.
Yo, I went to abovetopsecret.com. I fucking
Above top secret.
abovetopsecret.com. It's what.
Oh boy.
Come on, man.
Ken has entered the spacecraft. He's in this capsule.
Dude, I've seen.
Yo, you got to let the listeners know. Like, we'll have an update. If you have a nightmare tonight that you're in a space capsule that you can't get out of,
fuck you,
please
dude.
let us know.
Oh my god, it's like
I'm sorry, when you have the
dude,
nightmare
that's
tonight.
monthly. That's monthly that I'm in a place that I can't. I'm
Losing
like,
oxygen?
Yeah, I'm like, no, the oxygen doesn't even matter.
The percentage is on there. It's just going down by the minute.
That's not even what scares me because that's like this will end where I'm at.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh my god, the Earth is down there. You know, that's the big fear.
Oh.
Like, can I fall back in? Where am I at? That's the big fear.
You have to be close enough, then you get pulled back in by the Earth's
Yeah,
gravity.
well, I'm nowhere near there. That's the fear.
You're floating out.
Oh, I'm
you've
gone.
you've
I'm
left
gone.
the. Okay, so you just.
I'm done.
Okay.
The oxygen, I'm like, go down quicker.
Yeah.
End it. That's my nightmare. Like, my nightmare, I'm not like, at that point, I'm like, I don't care about the oxygen. I'm dead.
Right.
Make this end fast.
Oh, okay. You can't deal with the in
Oh,
between.
no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
It's the mental distress. That
Yeah,
gets you.
the mental
Okay.
distress of being floating out in
Yes.
space or coming into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Those are the two biggest horrors.
Okay.
The high speed
Sandra
fall.
Bullock did it. Did you see that movie?
No, I'm not gonna watch anything with Sandra Bullock and George Clooney in space. You can fuck right off. I'm not watching that dumb shit. Get out of here.
All right. So then. All right. Okay. Okay. It's fine.
At this point, yes, it is fine.
It is fine.
No.
Well, I want to say that these 2 episodes, because if you're listening to these, back to back, this is almost like a twofer. This was like Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Yeah, this is crazy because like I don't get like this. Like these are too heavy topics.
I didn't even
for me.
try. I was just like,
I know.
I just wrote it down.
I'm at home. We're talking. I'm like, yeah, I could do those.
Yep.
And then like actually talking about it, I'm like, I am so worked up right now.
I know. You turned into Tony Stark in
I
the
did-
fucking restaurant when
oh.
the kid's like, how did you escape the wormhole?
Oh my god, dude! I'm like, dude, what's it called? The dude from Seven, and I'm PTSD guy right now.
Oh.
That we were just too, Yo, what's this fucking side of me? I'm him right now,
Yeah.
talking about these topics because
Yeah.
these are like the deep-seated subconscious
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
that haunt me in my sleep.
Yeah. The other dangers.
The other dangers, right?
I think we got to the heart of it.
We did. Whew. I think we should bring Nora up
Okay.
and be like, hey, do you want to go to space, and why would you want to go to space?
Did you not see what she was wearing when you came over? She has a NASA sweatshirt on.
That's why I want to see. Remember I was talking about the kids on the plane?
Yeah.
And I if you don't want to do it, we don't have to do
Let's
it.
not do it.
Okay.
Because
we'll cut this.
she is the child of questions. And she won't go to bed tonight because then she'll be asking me questions
All
about
right.
all this shit.
All right. Well, we won't do it for you.
I dig it. I know what you're trying to do, but
Yeah.
it'll just bug me afterwards.
I got you.
because-
All right.
Yeah, no. I don't want to pop her bubble yet.
I got you.
Because I think she's actually a kid that's may actually go into that.
Right.
'Cause she's actually really good at
Well,
math.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I just wanted to hear the take of like,
Yeah.
the aspiring someone who may want to do that. And
What's
like,
the question?
The question is like, hey, do you want to go to outer space? Why do you want to go to outer space?
Yeah.
What do you think happens out there? And then that's it.
No, not a
Okay.
good idea.
Right,
Because
right.
she has her dad's imagination.
She's a blast. She's a blast.
Yeah. But like tonight at 1:00, she'll get out of bed. And she's like, so there's no air in space?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh fuck.
And then you hear me going in the background
Yeah.
screaming.
No, I just hear you in your space castle going, damn.
Yeah. And you're
Ken. This is ground control. Don't say damn dad.
Yeah.
You're fine. You're fine.
oh, and then they go.
All right, you're floating on the space. You can say damn dad as much when you hear me going.
Right. Ken, we're about to lose radio transmission with you. It's fine. Don't worry. We'll be back on in about 5 minutes.
I go. It's fine.
It is fine.
Is Jay down there? Is Jay down there with you?
This definitely isn't Jay. This is ground control.
It's definitely you. Oh God! Fuck. All right. I'm ready to wrap this one up.
A roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, it
today,
is. This,
folks.
honestly, you guys.
Stay tuned for the Jersey Devil, where we talk about antics.
Yeah,
Whee!
yeah. It's gonna be way fun for me because my feet are on the ground and I have to contemplate the unforgiving blackness of space.
The fabric of the universe.
Oh God! All right, guys. Well, Jay, do you have any closing statements?
I think you said it all, my man.
Dude, seriously, like, it's, like Jay literally has watched the panic on my face talking about this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a legit, like, thing that I ponder, and I'm glad to not talk about this for the rest of the night.
Yes.
So,
Let's go get some sushi.
yeah, we'll get some sush.
Jersey Devil,
Jersey
Slender
Devil
Man.
coming up. Slenderman, hopefully. We'll see. But, all right, guys, for this episode of Under the Dangerous Podcast, I'm Ken James.
And I'm Jason McKittrick.
And as always, on this figgy evening.
Thank you for listening to Other Dangers Podcasts. Have you encountered the other dangers? If so, you can email us at otherdangerspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a discussion about the paranormal, you can find us at Other Dangers Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. There you can find submitted pictures, videos, and artwork from listeners. We are now streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are streamed. And after listening, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you the other dangers.